For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And March for Jesus. 18th of May, visit christian.ky for more information. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990. 949-8037 or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Friday, the 10th day of May 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Whether you're a pedestrian, cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to observe the rules of the road. If you do, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. And to remind you that this segment of the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola is available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they rise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. This morning, it is the radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal, waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow, that toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp us 925-3261 as well. I believe Facebook is back up and working now, Paul, as well. And also If you want to follow us on YouTube, you simply do that by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. I want to say hello and thank you to all of those of you who listen to Radio Cayman, those of you who listen to For the Record as well. We're extremely grateful for your interest in listening to Radio Cayman, hearing what Radio Cayman has to offer, and we welcome any feedback from you in terms of how we can improve on the service that we provide to you as well. And here at Radio Cayman, we recognize that many people use different platforms to listen to Radio Cayman, and we really try to accommodate all of those, but we also do recognize that we still have the traditional radio listeners as well, and those of you out there who listen exclusively by radio, we want to ensure that you can still be reached as well. So again, thank you for your listenership. Thanks to all of those who let us know that you're listening whenever I see you or on the road or someplace, and the kind remarks that you give about Radio Cayman as well. So let's look at the birthday shout-outs this morning, and we see that Nelly, Inez, better known as Nelly, whose birthday is today. So birthday greetings are coming from Miss Jewel. Let's look at the other birthdays. Agueda Blake is celebrating a birthday today as well. So happy birthday greetings going out to Agueda Blake. On Sunday, we see birthdays taking place. Yvette McKenzie celebrating a birthday. Mr. Elio Solomon celebrating his birthday on May 12th. Joey Jose Kirchman Jr. also celebrating a birthday on the 12th of May. Patrick Gale celebrating a birthday on the 12th of May. Morna Lawrence also celebrating a birthday on May 12th, as well as Jennifer Ebanks celebrating birthday as well. So happy birthday. And then tomorrow, Mr. Malcolm Eden celebrating his birthday on the 11th as well. And to remind you folks that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola is available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. With that, folks, we will take our first commercial break. When we return, I will give you some information about our guests who will be in the studio at 8:15, and it will be an on-air consultation show. It's going to be different from the usual show that we have and the usual appearance from representatives from the Ministry of Health as well. It will focus on soliciting and receiving feedback from listeners via phone calls, social media comments, and WhatsApp messages on the consultation that is taking place in relation to our national health strategy. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Richard Ellsworth Bush, 1860-1944.
Richard Ellsworth Bush went to sea at the age of 16. His parents passed away in 1887, and he took care of his sisters and brothers. He was one of the few men in the Cayman Islands who had a Master Mariner certificate from England. He was also a boat builder, modeling, building, and sailing 4 vessels: the Firefly, the Lily, the Gladwin, and the 79-ton Klosking, which he co-owned with 2 other men. Richard Bush saved 2 men from drowning during the storms in Georgetown Harbor. Richard Bush was the father of Gladwin Bush, better known as Miss Lassie.
The Rotary Cayman Islands Sunset $10,000 raffle happening Saturday, May 25th. Tickets only $10, 3 tickets only $25, 5 tickets for $40 from any Rotary Sunset member. All proceeds will support Rotary Sunset community projects including Feed Our Future, the Sunrise Adult Training Center, Adopt a School program, the Marie Martin Georgetown Primary School, the Crisis Center, and many more. The new Rotary Sunset Club. NPO number 656. Get your ticket, get your chance. Rotary Sunset, creating hope in the world.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Are you ready for Cayman Art Week? From Wednesday 22nd to Sunday, May 26th, you'll find local art on show and for sale at more than 30 venues across all 3 Cayman Islands. Explore galleries and pop-up exhibitions anytime throughout the week, or join one of our bus tours running in a different district each day. Admission is free and open to the public. You can check out what's happening and when at CaymanArtWeek.com.
This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. A few more birthday shout-outs as well. We have, I mentioned Agueda Blake before. Renato Harris also celebrating a birthday today, as well as Vanessa McLaughlin. So happy birthday greetings to them. Also, we were asked to send happy birthday wishes to Miss Elaine Richardson, who had a birthday on Wednesday, the 8th of May. And belated birthday greetings are coming from her entire family and friends, especially her sister Lisa. They tell her that they love her to the moon and back. And Paul, I believe we have a voice note as well in terms of a birthday greeting. Please play that for us.
Good morning, good morning. I want to send 2 birthday greetings to Miss Betty Wilson and Miss Elodie White. Yes, I want to wish them all the best that life have to offer on their birthday today.
Okay, again, we want to thank all of those who are sharing those birthday shout-outs, and we continue to encourage you to send them as well. The earlier, the better in terms of sending them in to us. But what we endeavor to do as well is that if they come in late at some juncture during the show, we will find a way to squeeze them in as well. So, folks, let's talk about the consultation on the National Health Strategy. So we will have 2 representatives from the Ministry of Health in the studio with us. And the on-air consultation show, it will be different from the previous appearances that individuals from the Ministry of Health have conducted on the radio, because this morning will focus on soliciting and receiving feedback from listeners via telephone calls, social media comments, and WhatsApp messages. So in order to accomplish this, those persons in the studio, we will kick off the show. They will kick off the show with one question. And I'm going to give you that question now, which gives you an opportunity to prepare your questions or comments that you may have. And they will kick it off by saying, what are some of the main issues relating to health and wellness in the Cayman Islands? Some of the main issues related to health and wellness in the Cayman Islands. And the question that is being posed, it is intentionally broad because it is meant to get listeners to think about what is important to you. We want to know what is important to you. We all have some health, medical issues. Some may be similar, some may be different. but they're all personal. So they want to know what is important to you, the individual. You will be able to do that by sending us WhatsApp messages, calling in. If you do call in, we want you to really try to be as brief as possible, because they're not looking for detailed information. What they're looking for is general information from you. And while that question will be the main one that will be on asked on air, will be asked on air, we also want to be able to help you as listeners to prepare for this by doing what I'm doing now in terms of, telling you what it's all about. The representatives who will be in the studio, they will be ready and prepared to engage in discussion on calls or comments as well. There may be an additional series of questions that they can ask, as well. But what is important, folks, is it is important to hear from you. You need to participate in this survey. We constantly hear from some of our callers about situation as far as health and wellness is concerned. This is an opportunity for you not only to just voice your concerns now, but to have someone in the studio listening who will then be taking notes in terms of what you're saying that will go towards making the survey successful, as well. So the main question, when they come on, they're going to ask, the question is going to be put out there now, putting it out there now. What are some of the main issues relating to health and wellness in the Cayman Islands? It could be the service that is provided. It could be the physical infrastructure. It could be the staff. It could be accessibility to medicines, accessibility to consultations. It could be the cost. It could be concerns about your district health clinics. It could be concerns of how long it takes for you to get an appointment, how long it takes for you to see your therapist on the next date that has to take place, how far do you have to go, how convenient it is. They want to hear from you folks. In order for them to address the concerns that you have, they have to know what your concerns are as well. And I'll share something, with you. In 1966, I believe it was. Got a problem. How do I solve it? Yes, here we go. So in 1966, May 12, 1966, long life expectancy for Caymanians in spite of numerous health problems. That was an article in the Trade Winds newspaper. Now, how they got their information, I am not sure, but they were able to say that in the Cayman Islands at that time, there was long life expectancy despite the numerous health problems. Folks, I think that's a signal for our 8 o'clock news, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, we will have representatives from the Ministry of Health in the studio. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Caymanbrac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news. Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Every month, the National Weather Service sends out a report which breaks down some of the more interesting weather events over the last few months and tees up what's to come. Looking at the previous February to April period, the average temperature was 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which was above the climatological average. April's average temperature was about 83 degrees. According to the report, rainfall totals saw about 1.6 inches fall between February and April. According to the report, 1 inch of that fell in April alone, which usually sees about 1.3 inches of rain. So what can we expect in the coming months? A transition from El Nino to neutral conditions is expected for the May, June, and July period, and into La Nina conditions for August through October. The National Weather Service says a transition to La Nina conditions is usually marked by an increased chance of heavy showers, higher rainfall totals, and higher temperatures for the August to October period. Additionally, the report says the period should be noted as part of the wet season, as well as the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season, which should increase tropical cyclone activity. Looking at precipitation, between 15 and 19 inches of rain typically fall between May and July, with this year's forecast calling for a 50 to 60% chance of above normal rainfall average. In terms of heat, there's an 80% probability of above average temperatures for the stretch, which is usually about 84 degrees. Government's new chief nursing officer is encouraging local nurses to weigh in on the National Health Strategy, which is out for public consultation through May 31st. This as the Cayman Islands celebrates Nurses Week. CNO Felicia McLean.
It is great that Nurses Make the Difference has been embraced as a theme for 2024's Nurses Week. I want our practicing nurses to embrace this as well in their day-to-day work, but also in the contributions they make in our community when it comes to policy development, standards of practice, and even inspiring the next generation of nursing professionals. I want our nurses to engage and to use their voices, and I will ensure that they are heard.
To learn more, you can head to publicconsultation.gov.ky. Nurses Week wraps up on Sunday with International Nurses Day. And looking for something to do this weekend? Why not consider the National Museum on the Georgetown waterfront? Here's CIGTV's Donna Bush.
As Emancipation Day celebrations continue, the National Museum opens a new exhibit for all to see. The exhibit features names of more than 900 known slaves and other important information on the Cayman Islands' slave history. A video depicting the tools used during the days before emancipation and much more are part of the exhibit. You can visit the National Museum Monday to Friday from 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening, or on Saturdays from 10 to 2 p.m. to see this and other wonderful exhibits that are on display. Emancipation Day celebrations will wrap up on Cayman Brac.
Those Cayman Brac events originally scheduled for this weekend will now take place in June. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Chris Barrow. Military sources in Ukraine say Russian forces have advanced a kilometre into Ukrainian territory near Kharkiv. People are being evacuated from a town near the city because of sustained Russian shelling. Sri Lankan police say at least 8 former soldiers have died in the war in Ukraine. An official said more than 80 ex-military personnel had reportedly been recruited to mercenary groups by traffickers. The majority are believed to be fighting for Russia. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says a parliamentary inquiry will be held into the impact of social media. He said it often played a role in domestic violence and the radicalisation of young people. South Korea's Prime Minister says foreign doctors will be allowed to work in the country's hospitals. The government is locked in a months-long standoff with striking doctors. China says it's repelled a US Navy ship in the disputed South China Sea. It said the US-guided missile destroyer had illegally intruded into Chinese waters near the Paracel Islands. The European Union's top diplomat, Josep Borrell, has said that Spain, Ireland and Slovenia are planning to recognise a Palestinian state on May the 21st. Stock exchanges in Europe have risen to new highs in early trading, with expectations of interest rate cuts and stronger than expected economic growth. Markets in France, Germany and Britain have all climbed to record levels. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Oh no, Mother's Day is days away, and I haven't gotten your mom anything. I know, I just didn't expect it to come around so suddenly. What was that? Foster's? You're saying Mom deserves the world for Mother's Day? And Foster's has brilliant bouquets, gorgeous custom and specialized gift baskets, and everything to tell her she's the sweetest woman in the world for having you? You're such a little genius. You definitely take after your mother. Yeah, you don't gotta brag.
Foster's, celebrating moms because we care.
CUC Advisory. Customers are advised of a scheduled outage on Thursday, May 16th between 10 a.m. and 12 noon for sections of Prospect Drive in Prospect and a number of side roads. For more information, please contact CUC's customer service team at 949-5200 or email service@cuc.ky or visit their website at www.cuc-cayman.com.
The public consultation period for Cayman's new National Health Strategy is currently underway. Follow the Ministry of Health and Wellness on Facebook for information on upcoming town hall meetings, radio appearances, and other ways to tell us what you think. Email your comments to mohfeedback@gov.ky or log on to gov.ky/health-wellness to complete the survey. Your voice matters, Cayman.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That, unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first. Good morning, my friends. Let's take a look at your weather update. 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. Present temperature now 93 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, we got some cloud cover. Winds are out of the east at 4 miles per hour. Relative humidity 84%. Barometric pressure at 29.85 inches and dropping. Light southeasterly winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next few days in association with a ridge of high pressure over the northwest Caribbean. Our forecast calls for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Looking at later tonight, partly cloudy skies, 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide is coming up at 10:40 this morning. It's going to be low at 5:08 this afternoon. The outlook is for similar weather conditions through Monday morning. And that, my friends, is your latest weather update.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
All right, my friends, let's quickly take a look at the traffic situation. Seeing some rainfall in the West Bay area, some in Georgetown as well. So be careful of wet roads. Traffic coming out of the east, still the same along the Linford Pearson and Crew Road with some slow moving traffic, stop and go in some instances. Some are going through South Sound up Walker's Road as well, stop and go traffic. Those going through Windsor Park will experience some stop and go traffic as well, but of course moving in your favor. Southwood Street onto Seafarers Way, we're seeing moderate traffic out there as well. Streets inside Georgetown, Shedden Road, taking in some of the influx of the traffic. Moderate traffic there, some along Godfrey Nixon Way, Eastern Avenue. Looking at Bobby Thompson Way, seeing some traffic there as well, similar with traffic in the northward bound directions towards CNB roundabouts. And of course, at the Butterfield roundabout, we are seeing lots of traffic in that area as well. Traffic coming off the Esley Tibbetts, feeding into the Georgetown area, similar with northbound traffic towards the Butterfield roundabout. Traffic feeding as well from Godfrey Nixon Way to the roundabout, and North Sound Road seeing its fair share of traffic as usual this time of the morning. West Bay Road, traffic flowing smoothly into the Georgetown area onto North Street into Seafarers Way. And of course, Cayman Brack, Little Cayman, very light traffic this time of the morning. Heading towards the airport, light traffic along Roberts Drive. Buckle up, stay safe, and again, be cautious on the wet roads as rainfall along the Esley Tibbetts, West Bay Road, and some light rainfall in the Georgetown area. It is, they say, 30% chance of showers this morning time. Stay safe, my friends, and happy Friday.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to inform its Cayman Brac customers that there will be temporary interruptions to water service from Tuesday 7th May to Friday 10th May between the hours of 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on specified days. Affected streets: Lilies Lane, Moon Lane, White Bay Road, unnamed road between White Bay Road and Barney's Road, Barney's Road, Amberville Lane, and the road at West End Primary School. Customers who will be affected will receive a door hanger notice, which will be delivered the day before service is scheduled to be interrupted. An additional door hanger notice will also be delivered upon restoration of water service. These service interruptions are to facilitate our ongoing leak detection project. The aim is to enhance our system's integrity by identifying and repairing all possible leaks. We advise customers to store enough water for personal use during service interruptions and limit the use of water-intensive appliances. For further information, customers may contact the customer service team in Cayman Brac by calling 948-1403 or emailing braccs@waterauthority.ky.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com. This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I want to say again, hello to all of our faithful listeners out there. And this morning we have a really special treat for you because we want you to be involved in the consultation on the National Health Strategy for the Cayman Islands. So I do have in the studio with me the Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Home Affairs?
No, sir.
No?
Just health?
Just health and wellness.
I know.
Okay, but the minister has responsibility for that, but you're a separate entity altogether. Don't blame me for that. Stay away from the Home Affairs part of things. So Ms. Bobeth Ogaro, who's in the studio with us. We also have the Senior Policy Advisor in the ministry as well, Ms. Lauren Stanton. So folks, as I told you all earlier, they're going to pose a question, to you in relation to, because the focus this morning is on soliciting and receiving feedback from listeners, and you can provide your feedback via our telephone. So we have our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255, also 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261. You can call in or you can WhatsApp that number as well. So there are various ways for you to send your comments in. And the comment that we want to hear from you will be based on this particular question for now. What are some of the main issues relating to health and wellness in the Cayman Islands? That's what we want to hear from you. And like I said earlier, it can be the infrastructure, it can be the staffing, it can be scheduling, it can be costs, whatever. We want to hear from you in that regard. So I'm not going to say any more at this point in time. I'm going to say good morning to these two beautiful ladies in the studio with me, and welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Thank you for hosting us this morning.
Okay, my pleasure to have you here as well. And I will also be participating in the survey as well. Yes. I was asked that question earlier, and I certainly will be participating as well.
Thank you.
So I'm going to throw the mic over to both of you.
Right. So good morning, listeners. It's good to be here, and we're looking forward to hearing your voices, your messages, getting your calls, for you to let us know what you think are some of the main issues relating to health and wellness in the Cayman Islands. And as said by our host, Mr. O.C., that it could be in any area. It could be staffing. It could be on access. It could be, he didn't mention environment, but it could be environmental health. Mm-hmm. It could be from education health. We're looking in a broad area of health, and we're hoping to hear from you what your concerns are. And just so you know, is that we're embarking on a public consultation, and that's why this is part of the public consultation, to give you, the community, you, the people, the opportunity to help inform the development of a 10-year national health strategy and plan. And why are we looking at it at this time? Because we've evolved so much. We've grown so much as a community. The size of us has changed. The demographics of the persons making up the residents on island have changed. And we really need to think of what's happening now and how do we plan for the future as well. And that's why it's for 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us here, I say. Good morning to the listeners. So As DCO O'Gara said, this is a really important piece of work for the ministry. This will be the plan for the next 10 years for the country. So we want to make sure that we engage with as many different people as possible on as many different topics related to health and wellness as possible. So when we think about health, we kind of tend to think about physical health sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're having more of a conversation as a community around mental health, which is excellent. But we can also think about, environmental health, the air quality, anything to do with environment, social wellness, even spiritual health. I think that's a dimension and that's an important component of it.
Especially in our community.
Especially, yeah. So we've actually gone out to engage with different faith-based organisations. We're going out into the community next week to talk with different elders groups. So not only are we doing radio, there's also the opportunity to feedback online on the survey. You can email us as well. We're doing community meetings, so we'll be inviting the community to come and speak with us. So am I okay to share those with the listeners now?
Yes. Go right ahead.
So we're also doing some community meetings. So it'll be next week on Tuesday, the 14th of May, from 6:30 to 7:30 at the Theoline McCoy School. Thursday, the 16th of May, from 6:30 to 7:30 at Jasmine. And then we're doing a virtual town hall, so people can stream into that. And that will be on Tuesday, the 21st of May at 1 o'clock. And Thursday, the 6th of June, we are going over to Sister Islands to speak at the Aston Ruddy Centre from 6:30 to 7:30. So we're doing as much as we can to engage the public right throughout the month of May and into the start of June.
Okay, and what I would want to alert our listeners to this morning as well, you're not required to give personal information in terms of your name or whatever. If you call in, a friend may recognize your voice or something, but there are other ways. Like I said, you can WhatsApp in your comments as well. WhatsApp number 925-3261. You can send those there, and you may want to call in and to comment. And I'll use an example, and I shared a little bit of this earlier this morning with my guests. And in 1966, so that would be 58 years ago, 58 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Long life expectancy for Caymanians in spite of numerous health problems. That's an article by a journalist by the name of Erica White, and she was writing for the Tradewinds newspaper, and this was the first of a 3-part series on that. And it starts off by saying Caymanians are extraordinarily healthy, are an extraordinarily healthy lot. If they manage to survive the perils of infancy, most of them stand a fair chance to live to a ripe old age. So right away, we saw the concern there that there were some perils as far as, infancy was concerned. And then it goes on to talk about the infant mortality rate in the Cayman Islands at that point in time, which was at 27.9 per thousand per population. So, we had those figures then. They knew exactly what was taking place. There was a doctor by the name of I think it's almost ironic, Dr. Husbands was, was his name. And, they compiled the information. They spoke about the fact that malnutrition, quite common amongst island children, is due to their parents' lack of knowledge of modern dietary habits. And that was what Dr. McGregor said, and he was another popular doctor here in the Cayman Islands. His practice was located right opposite where the Burger King on the waterfront is located. So it was on the land side, of that. That's where Dr. McGregor's, office was as well. And they did this study. So the things that were identified there. Are you seeing anything so far in terms of your consultations that sorts of jumps out at you?
Well, when we were last here on Radio Cayman, some of the things that jumped out for us was actually the elderly, health for the elderly in terms of the physical activity, and not just physical activity, but also like social health, being able to socialize, being able to, and also getting transportation to get around the place, getting the medical side of it was now access was the issue for them from an elderly perspective.
Okay, we do have a caller, so we do want to hear from them. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, Jose, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to your guests as well.
Good morning.
Yes, I have a problem with my feet and my legs at almost 77 years old now. I was a construction worker and I had to stop it because of my heart. And right now, if I should live a few more years, I could be on a walker or maybe have amputation. You know, the longer I wait is the worst this thing may get. But I can't believe all these years of prosperity in Cayman Islands. In none of our hospitals, we don't have a world-class vascular surgeon, a specialist that deals with this kind of problem. Now, I believe I have nerve damage. In the night, my body jumps, and I have burning in the feet, cramps in the muscles. I can't walk as far as I used to walk. And right now, I don't have a doctor to even tell me what is wrong. So, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, so thank you for raising that issue, sir. Those are definitely one of the things that looks at staffing for us and also the various levels of care and availability of specialists on island. And that is something that we definitely have to tackle in our national health strategy. And thank you for raising that because it brings to the forefront that we do have persons on island who are being affected by the lack of certain specialists, and it might be something that we need to look at as a nation. If there are any other persons that have similar situations or circumstances as yours, and then how do we get specialists on island to address those those special needs for the Cayman Islands?
And I think we've
yes, well, you know, I just wish my country all the best, man. But you know, these type of doctors, we need to have them here, man.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've got, we've got an aging population
bring
here in Cayman.
Bring that mic a little closer to you. Yeah.
And we've got an aging population here in Cayman, so I think it's really important that we, consult widely with people like yourself, sir. So thank you so much for calling in. And as I said, we're going out to the community to talk to elders groups. So I'm sure these issues are going to be coming up. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Another important point, and I'm going to sort of like cross-reference this 58-year-old study as well.
Yeah, because I wanted to hear what were the things that said we did well that was going to allow us.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. This one talks about the fact that there is a remarkable high incidence of mental disease in the Cayman Islands. 58 years ago.
Okay.
And we're still talking, about it now. Probably in different respects as well. We see more and more of our youngsters as well, and conditions have changed so much in terms of the things that we do and the things that we don't. We have all of these devices that we use these days and everything. But that was good to hear from that particular caller there, in relation to it as well. Okay.
Well, mental health is definitely something that has come up, and we know that the trend or the the interest for addressing those things in the Cayman Islands is definitely at a high, and it will make the national health strategy, because we did have a mental health strategy as well, which we believe will be built into or be culminated into the national health strategy to ensure that we're addressing mental health issues here in the Cayman Islands, which some can be genetic, some can be triggered by the environment, but we'll be able to have a closer look at what's happening.
Okay, another one was medical services are not free except to government employees, school children, and paupers. I guess they used that in 58 years ago. They used that terminology, paupers as well. But in 58 years ago, no one is denied medical attention because of the inability to pay, and that was a statement that was made by the then director of the newly formed organized Department of Community Development, Welfare and Establishment Social Services, Mr. Harry McCoy.
It hasn't changed.
In those days.
So no one is denied medical assistance, definitely, in
Right.
the Cayman Islands. We do provide that, and I think that's where the health insurance comes in, where as a nation we've said, if you're residing here, you're working here, you should have health insurance to ensure that you get at least a basic minimum access to health care that is needed.
Okay. I want to remind our listeners that we want to hear from you. If you have any concerns, if you've had any experiences, as far as the your health, and like our panelists have pointed out, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical health. It could be environmental. It could be spiritual, as well. We really want, to hear from you. 949-8037, toll-free number 1-800-534-8255, WhatsApp number 925-3261, and you can send messages from that WhatsApp number as well. I almost forgot that. Folks, we have to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Hi, this is Juliana O'Connor Conley, the Honorable Premier of the Cayman Islands. I'm inviting you to come out to the March for Jesus, Saturday, 18th of May, 2024. Thank you very much.
Join us for the March for Jesus on the 18th of May 2024, starting at the 7 Mile Public Beach at 3 p.m. Then for our Thank You Jesus Praise and Worship concert starting at 6:30 p.m. on Albert Panton Street. For more information, visit our website at www.christian.ky and then click on the March for Jesus 2024 tab. See you at the March for Jesus.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is advising travelers to check their passports to ensure all is in order ahead of summer holiday travels. Travelers should check their passport validity, verify entry requirements for the destination, and apply for or renew passports and visas early. For more information, call 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're discussing the National Health Strategy consultation that has taken place in the Cayman Islands. That discussion is taking place with Deputy Chief Officer Ms. Bobette O'Gara and Senior Policy Advisor Lawrence Stanton. So, again, we want to hear from our listeners out there if have any concerns, any comments in relation to our vast variety of issues. And I'm going to ask Ms. Bobette to again identify some of those issues that we want to hear from them about.
So, as I was mentioning off air, that, most times persons believe that when we're looking at health or we're looking at health services, it's only the health services authority that we're asking persons about. No, but we want to hear from everyone about not just the public offering through Health Services Authority, but the private sector. We're talking about the surgeons, we're talking about the pharmacists, we're talking about the private hospitals, we're talking about the smaller clinics, we're talking about a wide range of health services and health care in the physical sense. And then we also want to hear about, like, for example, the environment. How important is the environment to you, the environmental health? And as I was saying, is that we don't understand, for example, the Department of Environment, how important they are to public health. If they're not there to do the job that they do, we could have a rodent issue, we could have an air quality issue, it could significantly even impact tourism, our beaches, if they're not doing their job. And even them, for a public health perspective, they do food inspections.
Yes.
And that's absolutely important.
And
Food and nutrition.
We love our food here.
And we
in
know
the
how we
Cayman
love
Islands.
our food, yeah. We have our regular brunches, and without them doing their job, that is a public health issue. So public health itself is a key area that we want to hear from the public.
Okay, we do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good to hear from you.
Good morning, OC. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine.
Good morning there to your panel.
Good morning.
Morning, ladies. And I want you that the mother have a Mother's Day when it comes.
Well, thank you. We're both mothers.
Both mothers. Okay, OC, got your job cut out. We brought no flowers. I just want to mention one thing regarding the health system, and that is overall payment for Caymanians in general, of having the chance to pay their bill. We know that a lot of Caymanians, not some, a lot of Caymanians have to go to medical at HSA to get medical done, but a lot of Caymanians can't afford to pay for these bills. And I'm using that because I experienced during the time I was in Grand Cayman, a young man that had to do an MRI. And an MRI is an expensive bill when that comes to you. And the young man didn't want to do the MRI because he was fretting because his mother wasn't going to be able to afford to do this MRI. And he didn't want to do it, but he had to do it because of the medical the requirements, medical requirements that he had to do. And basically that young man was almost crying. Basically, he was crying. And it hurt me to know that a Caymanian was sitting there in Cayman wondering how a Caymanian as himself could be able to pay a bill such as that in his own country. Now, that to me, I have so much titles that I can title that as, but I wouldn't want to be that kind of person on the radio. To know that we have to be in a suffering position, that we can't even take the chance to go to our own medical facility, such as HSA, to have checks done for our own benefit and for our own health because of the cost. I will sit back and listen to what you all have to say. If you have to ask me a question, I will hold on. But I would love to know that someone mentioned this to the whether I go to the ministry or whoever, to see to it that Caymanians have a chance where they can go to the medical physicians and have the medical done and affordable to their benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Anything you want to, any question you want to pose to the caller before he hangs up?
No question to pose, but just to say thank you for saying Happy Mother's Day, and thank you for calling us to give us your perspective and your experience and observation of other persons. And we will say yes, access and affordability is something that has been raised for us, and it is a theme, and we have taken note of it. And this is why the public consultation is so important, because when we hear more than one person speaking, when we have many voices letting us know that these are in fact what's affecting us, then we know this is a key area that needs to be focused on our health strategy, because the health strategy is going to have to focus on meeting the needs of our nation, and this seems to be one of the themes that's coming up, which is access and affordability. And we're sorry to hear about the young man that was kind of nervous about getting the service that he needed because he couldn't afford it, but that's something that as a ministry, we're looking at it. There's so many different facets around how do we address that it's complicated, but we're working on it, and we need to hear more from persons of examples of this, so that we can say, here are the examples. It's not just us pulling something out of the air, but we know that this is actually happening.
Okay, one of our listeners, before we go to our next commercial break, this person says, as it relates to our environment, a robust education campaign is required to combat the unsightly roadside litter, derelict vehicles on the roadsides, and on private residences as well.
Yes. Cayman used to be known to be pristine, clean. When I was growing up, I did not recall seeing trash on the side of the road. And I do know that if we did see someone throwing the trash out of the road, we'd be like, hey, I can't shout on the radio, but we shout and say, hey, you need to pick that up. So we were vigilant about keeping our country clean. And I think the education is necessary because we have grown so much. We have different nationalities coming in that may not appreciate what we have or handle that kind of disposal the same way that we do as part of our culture. And so an education about how to dispose of it, an education about why it's important to us and why we need to keep it clean, or keep the Cayman Islands clean, would definitely be an important thing. And that's on our note. So thank you again for that information.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. We know that you ladies have to leave us at 9 o'clock, but we're going to try to squeeze as much as we can possibly during that period. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
The public consultation period for Cayman's new National Health Strategy is currently underway. Follow the Ministry of Health and Wellness on Facebook for information on upcoming town hall meetings, radio appearances, and other ways to tell us what you think. Email your comments to mohfeedback@gov.ky or log on to gov.ky/health-wellness to complete the survey. Your voice matters, Cayman.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Our guests have about 12 minutes left in the studio with us. They have other commitments this morning. Our guests are Senior Policy Advisor, Ms. Lauren Stanton, and Deputy Chief Officer, Ms. Babette O'Gara. We're talking about a National Health Strategy consultation, and we're going to pass the mic over to Ms. Stanton.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So I think we were just reflecting on the newspaper article that you were talking about, the old one from 1966. And, I think we're talking about the infant mortality rate and health of infants. I think we've probably come a bit of a way since then. We've got really good obstetric care, maternity care, paediatrics, but these are the types of areas that we want to hear from people about. So your experience, both good and bad. And then we kind of progress to talk about childhood and children and then diet. So, I think it goes back to public education, doesn't it? And thinking about, are you having your serving of fruit and vegetables? Are you making sure you're cognizant of your salt intake? And I think it's difficult for people when there's so much advertising around fast food and, your friends are eating junk food, but it's just empowering people and just making sure they have an educated choice, So I think it goes back to that public education that we were talking about. As a ministry, we want to be data-driven, so we want to get as much information from people as possible. We want to make sure we're looking at the census. We've got, thinking about young people in schools. There's a survey every 2 years that the National Drug Council does, looking at drug usage and actually also touches on mental health. So we have that. So we're going to use that when we think about our National Health Strategy. We've had our national epidemiologist just conduct the STEP survey, which is really interesting findings and really important findings that we're going to integrate into the National Health Strategy. But just on the mental health component, so I just wanted to share with people that we do have there is a free, an 1800 number that you can call. It's not a crisis number, but it is a resource for people if you want to talk about your mental health. So I'll just share it. It's 1800 534 6463. K-Mind, so that's a free helpline for anyone. Okay. We'll make sure it's on our website. But
can you repeat that again for us?
Yeah, of course. So 1800 534 6463. Yeah.
You say 1-800.
1-800.
1-800.
1-800. Well, on that, the mental health thing, even back to your article, Lucy, it was interesting that we said that there was hypertension at the time, and hypertension, I think, based on some preliminary results of steps, is actually still a high occurring incident here in the Cayman Islands, and is something that we're going to have to tackle as part of our national health strategy. But it was interesting that it was amongst the women mainly, and it was because we were experiencing, what is it you say, the emotion, anxiety and stress of not having our husbands at home. And again, this leads us back to part of the wellness wheel: emotional wellness and even social wellness, because of that social interaction, that emotional wellness, understanding our own feelings and expressing what's happening with us. It shows that even back then, 1956 it was, in that article, that we were aware of that, how emotional wellness and social wellness affected our physical well-being.
And thinking about the preliminary findings as well, we know that, STEPS has identified even people with diabetes, chronic long-term illness. A lot of people, maybe they don't know that they have it currently. Or if they have it, they don't have the medication to help support their condition. So, it's important that we think about all of these things when we're developing a new national health strategy. So we want to hear from people who have long-term kind of chronic conditions. We want to know if screening services are adequate.
And diet, food and nutrition. Yeah. That's an important part of a health strategy. And diet nutrition contributes to the physical wellness, environmental wellness, even the emotional wellness. All of those things connect. But we want to hear from persons, what do they think about intellectual wellness? What do they think about occupational wellness in the work environment here in the Cayman Islands? What is it? What does the public think about our work environment? I want to know.
What was interesting, I read an article yesterday in one of the newspapers, and there was this former, he was special ops Marine, 30-something years of age, and he had been working 100-hour work weeks because there was some merger and acquisition that the firm on Wall Street that he was working for was participating in. And I forgot the condition that he died, but he died a few days ago, and it was attributed mainly to those long working hours, and as a result of that, some of the lower staff members were contemplating, demonstrating and maybe taking time off work and stuff like that as well. Now, how will the cost of living, the high cost of living in the Cayman Islands factor in to your consultation and because it has an effect on so many, other things as well.
So I think that, it's a very valid question. It's a very good question. And this goes back to the access and affordability. So we want to make sure that services are accessible and they're affordable for people because, as the previous caller said about that young man, an MRI, that's a really important diagnostic instrument. And if you don't have access to that, then you can't be diagnosed and treated effectively. And we don't want to put people in that position. We don't want people to be in that position. So it's a really valid question, and it's something the ministry is looking at. Especially in relation to the insurance. That's a sort of a piece of work that's ongoing that we're definitely looking at. And it's coming up through the consultation time and time again. So we're seeing it as a theme. So it's definitely something that we are looking at.
Okay.
The cost of living also affects food and nutrition and what we can afford to eat. Can we afford to eat healthy?
Yes.
Because it's easier to buy a pack of chips that might be filling than it is to go and buy an apple at times. Or if you want to make lemonade versus buying something with red dye in it, a juice, it's easy. It's probably sometimes cheaper because one lemon costs 99 cents and soda costs 99 cents. Right? So, and if you have to go and buy the water, you have to buy the sugar, it might cost you just to make lemonade at home. So those are some of the things that we do know that as a government, they're looking at how can we tackle some of those things. And with the food and nutrition policy, I believe that's has been looked at for the nation, the strategy for the nation, that will be working in partnership with them as well through agriculture and PLAHI to see how can we integrate a strategy to ensure that food and nutrition in the Cayman Islands and food stability in the Cayman Islands will be at a sustainable level.
Excellent. We have another caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good to hear from you.
Good morning, Mr. Sterling. I'm not sure how.
This is OC. This is OC.
Hello.
This is OC, not Sterling.
Okay. Good morning. I'm calling about HSA and permit workers. Whenever they go to HSA hospital, we are treated differently, as if we do not receive the medical attention that we should. And you can do a survey and ask permit holders when they go to HSA, how are they treated? Most of them will tell you that they prefer to go to private. And I recently have a friend that went into HSA. She was hemorrhaging, she was bleeding, and they did an ultrasound. They gave her some medication to stop it, sent her home. A day later, she fell down, ended up at doctor's hospital. They did some procedure on her and also give her about 2 liters of blood. And they told her if she had waited another day, she would have died. So my concern is about HSA and how they treat permit workers at the hospital.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. I'm going to try to cover a few more here. If not, I can forward the information to you. This person says their concern and their question is, can government bring back free health insurance for children until they reach the age of 18? And this one is a little bit longer, but it says it would be good if elderly people's original doctor could be allowed to have home visits for the elderly who are bedridden. The person says that they know the HSA provides home visits by nurses and certain doctors for older persons, but they're not sure how much support new patients, especially first-time mothers, get in respect of the period after they have given birth. Do nurses do home visits to see how the mothers are handling their babies in a home setting and provide suggestions, etc.? Then they go on to say, also, could a policy be put in place to collaborate with other chefs on the island to provide free workshops or CIG TV and radio news bites to show people how to make healthy, inexpensive meals? Person says, my daughter said a similar thing was done in the UK. That this is very extremely insightful, and I find it extremely helpful.
Well, thank you so much for that. I love that idea. We're known to be the culinary center of the Caribbean, so we're told, and we have all these excellent restaurants, all these excellent chefs. I think that making use of those restaurants and chefs on islands to help us learn how to prepare healthy, inexpensive meals would actually be an awesome thing if we could get together a team and putting it out there, even not necessarily a government project, but putting it out there to the public. If anyone be willing to start and create a project like that we could share throughout the community. In reference to the first lady that called to the call for the work permit holder, just want to say this: thank you for raising that. That comes up with quality governance, and it's talking about are the services safe, are the services effective, what is your patient experience? That's part of the national health strategy, and hearing stories like this actually helps us to see that yes, we're on the right track with the focus on that area. For the free health insurance for children 18 and under, based on the way that the health insurance is written, children should still be getting free coverage and should be covered under the policy that we have now. But I'm sure that's something that the government we'll be looking at. And for the home visits for the elderly, as we said, that came up before, and we thank you for raising that again. And I like the idea of the original doctor going to visit, whether it's the private sector or the public. And for the home visits for the first-time mothers, I don't know if they still do it, but I know when I had my two, that we did have, they did come out and visit. They did come for, I think, the first 6 weeks. I think that is something we still do in the Cayman Islands. We do have great child care and what's the word now? OBYGN?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
In the Cayman Islands.
I know you ladies have to go, but I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments as well. And then, if needed, you can forward this to whatever numbers that you have so that you can have the direct messages from our listeners as well. So, closing comments?
Yes, our closing comments is that we would like to say thank you for those who took the time and made the effort to call us and also to send through messages. But we want to give you another avenue to communicate with us, which is we would love for you to complete the survey, which can be accessed at www.gov.ky/health-wellness. That's www.gov.ky/health-wellness. And also you can send us an email at mohfeedback@gov.ky. That's mohfeedback@gov.ky. Or you can WhatsApp us at any time at 936-4969. That's 936-4969. We'd love to hear from you and through any of those avenues. Also through Radio Cayman, you can use the numbers and you guys will pass it on to us.
And all confidential.
Everything's confidential and it's private. Your name, your identity will not be revealed.
Okay, Ms. Stanton.
And just to add to that, so we're having community meetings as well. So the first is going to be next Tuesday. So that's Tuesday the 14th of May from 6:30 to 7:30 at the Thea-Line McCoy School. And then on the Thursday, so that's the 16th of May from 6:30 to 7:30 at Jasmine, we're also having a community meeting. We will be streaming a virtual meeting, so that will be held on the following Tuesday, the 21st of May from 1 o'clock. And then on Thursday, the 6th of June, we will be going to the Aston Ruddy Centre for a community meeting from 6:30 to 7:30. So if you prefer to meet us and give us feedback in person, we'd love to meet you and hear from you.
Okay, and I look forward to having you back again here in the studio as well for a longer period of time, because I'll tell you about my audience here on Radio. They listen and they listen and they listen, and then they wait until the last before they start to call in and to give feedback and stuff like that. So what we're doing in terms of prompting them with, what took place 58 years ago and stuff like that, that helped as well. But we would have gotten many more calls as the show continued on. So I would encourage the ministry to continue, through this medium. Doesn't have to be for the record. It could be, other shows as well, to elicit feedback from the public out there as well.
Yeah, we'd love to come back. Thank you for having us.
Okay, folks, we've gone way over the headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, the phone lines will be open. We will discuss with you whatever you want to discuss. I'll share with you some government releases as well. One very impactful and important one. Permanent residence holders, pay your work permit fees. If not, your work permit, your permanent residency stands the chance of being revoked. I'll share that press release with you as well. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
A recently discovered school of scalloped hammerhead sharks in Cayman waters makes international headlines in Hakai magazine. The write-up on the species mentions the Department of Environment's 2022 spotting of the group off Cayman, the first time since the 1970s that hammerhead sharks have been seen schooling in the Caribbean Sea. Ukraine says it has repelled an armored attack in the northeastern Kharkiv region after Moscow's forces launched an incursion across the border and sought to break through defensive lines. A regional head said Russian reconnaissance groups had tried to penetrate the border, adding that, quote, not a single meter has been lost. Ukrainian commanders have been expecting a summer offensive for some time, possibly even a bid to capture the region, but officials are adamant Russia does not have the resources to do so. And stronger than expected growth at the start of the year saw the UK emerge from recession. The economy grew by 0.6% between January and March, the fastest rate for 2 years. The UK fell into recession at the end of last year after shrinking for 2 3-month periods in a row. Prime Minister said the economy had, quote, turned a corner, but Labour said there was no time for a, quote, victory lap. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When you have a sports or fitness-related injury, trust the expertise of the HSA's Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic to get you back in the game. Our internationally trained and certified physicians specialize in sports traumatology, sports medicine, pain management, and orthopedic surgery. For treatment of common injuries such as tendonitis, arthritis, tennis elbow, rotator cuff, or knee tears, schedule a consultation with the Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic at Smith Road Medical Center by calling 949-8600 or visit hsa.ky for more information.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. The phone lines are open, and I'm sure that some of you now will want to call in and talk about the health consultation as well. And while I'm not part of the ministry, if you do call in, whatever you say, or if you WhatsApp it, I will share it with them after as well. Meanwhile, we do have other things that we want to discuss. One of those, like I said earlier, had to do with the press release. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller then. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. And you may want to turn your radio down. I'm hearing you in the back.
Yeah, I turned it down because I had you up real loud waiting on you.
Okay.
Tried to get on earlier, but couldn't get on before the guest came. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? And I tried to return your call yesterday also, and I couldn't get back. It rang. You must have been busy yesterday.
Oh, busy discussing you. And I was discussing it upon Myra too.
Oh, okay. That's my good friend, and you know she's going.
Good friend.
She's going to support me.
For your boy, but I put some licks in her too.
She's going to support me.
Well, she was getting it too. I'm still here struggling with what you told me. As far as I can understand it, entitlement because of expectation was the word. I think was the wording.
No,
I don't understand that.
Expectation. Well, let's put it this way.
Entitlement because of expectation.
No, I didn't use any. I didn't use the word in.
Words that you use?
I didn't use the word entitlement, but a person is, if a person has an existing right. Right? Let's use your driver's license as an example. Right? Let's use your driver's license. You get it for what, 5 years now or 10 years, whatever, and it expires, and you go to then renew your driver's license, and at the Department of Vehicle and Driver's License, they say to you, Mr. Graham, we are not renewing your driver's license because you have now reached the age of 85, and we're not giving driver's license beyond the age of 85, but they didn't tell you that when you got your last renewal. How would you feel? And what would be your reaction, and what would be the recourse for you?
Well, what I want to say about that, if that's the rules, that's the rules. So that's why we should change.
No, but if you didn't know the rule at the time, no one told you what the rule was.
Ignorance is no excuse for that.
But if there was no rule, what if there was no rule?
Yeah, but that's why I want to say now that expectation, we need to curb that by saying, do not expect this, whatever, whether it work permit or whatever, to be renewed. Do not expect it to be renewed.
Yeah.
We can say that. We can put that in there whenever the work permit or whatever it is that you have obtained. We can put that there and send you that whenever it's the approval. That can be a part of the approval that's sent to you, saying, do not expect this to be renewed.
Or that there's no guarantee.
There goes the expectation. Then we take that out of the equation.
I'm not sure. Well, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not sure that. But I will point this out to you. What the government would never want to do is to go to court and lose a case like that. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why the government wouldn't want to go and lose a case. Because when they do, and it becomes precedent then, and then it becomes binding. Not only that, it then becomes public knowledge. So everyone then knows, well, the government, we know now that the government can't do this because the courts have already ruled against it. So it is best for the government to plug the loophole before taking any knee-jerk reaction to it, Take for instance, one of the releases that I'm going to be sharing with you this morning in relation to the revocation of permanent residence for non-payment of fees. The reason that the government can do that now and can issue that and say that is because they know that it can't be successfully challenged in the courts because it is, I believe it has already been litigated.
Well, that needs to be done because, there's that been happening before, and I think they were told that they have the right, I think, to be able to pay. I think that was somebody that was brought up, that we must give them an opportunity to be able to bring to pay that default payment that is now pending. I swear, I think Dr. Maxfield might have told me that. That because I said to him, man, for people that haven't paid, just take it away and give them X amount of time to do whatever they got to do. And he say, oh well, I believe he told me that they might be able to demand a payment plan or a time to pay or something like that.
And also, Lord Graham, when you can, sometimes people want you to act immediately. Do this now. But when you were a child, remember when you were a child and your parents say, if you do such and such, this is what's going to happen. And they may give you 2, 3, or 4 warnings or alerts to it, and then finally the hammer came down.
No.
When you're making. I don't know
about you. When I was growing up, one chance.
Yeah.
And you got beat for no reason too.
When you're making administrative decisions, you want to also ensure that you have given the applicant or the person that you're addressing reasonable reasons and reasonable period of time to accede to the requests that you're making. And then you may want to send out a final request to them. So that hear me out. So when it is litigated, when that person challenges you in court, you can lay out to the court, here are the notices that we sent out to that person. Here are the various opportunities we gave that person to take corrective action, and they refused or they failed to do so.
See, in other instances, my friend never paid his fine. They never sent no warning. They went lock him up. They locked him up the first day they saw him. They locked him up on a Friday, knowing that the courts would be closed until Monday, so he spent the weekend in jail.
Because he had a final date within which he had to pay that fine, right? You apply for something that is not compulsory that you have to get, and we find it in our hearts to give it to you for a fee. And you got to go 10 years knowing that you have to pay that fee 10 years, No, I'm not going to defend those persons. No.
The system,
Those I'm not going to defend. No. But obviously, let me share this with you. Come on. Don't want to do that. So here's what CBC has said. Oh, I have to take a commercial break, Lord Graham. Stay on the line. Don't go off. Don't hang up.
I'm not going on.
Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
If you're a parent, you know that providing your child with a quality early childhood education can be expensive. However, the Ministry of Education offers financial assistance through its Early Childhood Assistance Program to help qualifying Caymanian families cover the costs at registered early childhood settings. Visit our online application portal at moeapplications.gov.ky to learn more and get started. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Still have Lord Graham on the line. Are you there, Lord Graham?
Oh, yeah, patiently waiting on you.
Okay, so here's part of what the press release now says. Permanent residents are reminded that failure to pay these fees in full and in a timely manner may, notice they use the word may, not will, may result in it may result in revocation of this facility. Any outstanding fees remaining unpaid beyond 90 days will result in revocation of this facility. Any outstanding fees will be referred to the Cayman Islands Status and Permanent Residency Board for revocation. Furthermore, it is imperative for permanent residents to adhere to their financial obligations to maintain their residency rights within our community.
Okay. Well, see, right, because you're on that, I just want to ask this question. Don't you think we should eliminate the status situation that we have, the status, and just issue permanent resident? That could be a good source of income.
Yeah, I have always said, and our good friend and former member of Parliament, Mr. Orrett McLean, he's a strong advocate as well, and there are several others out there, and there are some who choose not to vocalize it at all. But I am of the firm opinion, personally, that the grant of Caymanian status should be only on grounds of dissent. Yeah. Yes, some provisions should be made, for marriage, as well. And you want to take into consideration and to make sure that you guard against marriages of convenience. But in essence, it should be restricted to dissent.
Dissent. Period. That's it. Who can we see about making that move? You got anybody that you think got what takes to make that move?
Well, I don't think that you can expect that move to be made.
Except me, you and Arden.
Yeah, you can't expect that move to be made between now and the next election. So it depends on who.
They better make it if they want to get reelected.
It depends on who you, who you elect. That's why I think it is going to be extremely important. And this goes into another argument, and I can't get into that one because we have another caller on hold. But we all have one vote. And we need to ensure that that vote is effective. We have that one vote. So you have to ensure that that individual that you're going to be voting for is prepared to take action on those issues that you deem to be of interest.
Well, now that you're saying that, that's another thing that I don't agree with. I want to have 19 votes.
Well,
I want to vote for all 19.
You might not be able to do that, but there's an alternative. There's a midway point. Why don't we? And this is why it's important for that electoral boundaries report to be tabled in our legislative in our parliament, and for it to be discussed as well. Why don't we have at-large members? We hear Caymanians talking about, this person may make a good politician, but they're limited because they have to choose in one constituency. Why don't we make some of those seats at-large seats? Why don't we, the constituencies that we have now, the 19, why don't we make those, reduce the number, which means, let's say, for instance, if we had 10 or even 15 constituencies and the other at-large seats, as well. What that would allow us to do is to bring those numbers in line with each other that we need to have, because the constituencies now, they vary in numbers. They're nowhere near where they need to be in comparison with each other. That would give us the ability to do that, and then have the at-large seats where you can vote nationally for a certain members of our parliament as well. Lord Graham, I'm going to ask you to leave us there so we can grab the other caller, but please feel free to call back because I have some more stuff here that I'm going to share. We talk about our women and how strong they were when our men went to sea because they had to take care of everything. There was a study that was done in terms of health, and our women in those days may have suffered mental health issues as a result of the absence of their husbands who had to go to sea as well. But leave us there for now. Paul, let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and I should also say good morning to Lord Graham because I'm going to feature him in my call. So.
Okay, good morning, good morning. Good to hear from you. I was wondering, hadn't heard from you in a while. I was wondering whether or not you're taking a vacation or something.
No, no vacation. You know, when you are retired, you are always on vacation. You work when you want. Look, I've been following your discussion, you and Lord Graham, since yesterday and a little bit of today, and I think I caught a lot of what you said. Now, I'm not trying to be politically correct, but both of you were right in terms of the issue of expiry of work permits and renewal. But let me just explain it like from a legal perspective in general terms. Let me take it out of the context of work permits because I'm not quite sure what specific legal provisions exist in that respect. Okay. And I hope that once I discuss it generally, then you might be able to apply it to work permits.
Thank you.
Now, you see, like Lord Graham was saying, if you are given a work permit or a license for a period of time, and this is 12 months, whether or not they say you are entitled to a renewal or you can apply and so on, it doesn't matter. Once it is a limited time permit, it is a limited time permit. Once it expires, it expires. Now, you were also right in saying, although that is indeed the case, there are certain provisions in certain laws which specifically say, hey, look, if you have a permit and before it expires, you apply for a renewal of that permit and your application is received, then you can continue to work until you hear from us.
Right.
Yes, because the law specifically puts it in there. But unless there's something in the law specifically which allows you to do that, then once it is expired, it's expired. There's no expectation, nothing at all.
And in the case of work permits, that is the exact case or the exact scenario. You have a certain time frame within which you should make that application for a renewal. It has to take place before it expires.
Okay, yeah, because even when we write legislation, what we do is we usually make a provision for what happens in those cases. For example, let me just take it a little further afield. Like, let us imagine you've got a liquor license and then the liquor licensing laws change and they require, say, something more strict, like they have new requirements, for example. We would normally say, when this law comes into effect, so long as you have applied for a new liquor license, you can continue to operate under the old liquor license, even if you don't meet the new requirements until you hear from us. So I'm not surprised, therefore, that in the work permit situation, they provided that as well. But otherwise, both of you were 100% correct.
And Billy, before you go, let's look at it through the lens of an employer as well. How many employers would actually employ an individual, or even how many individuals would, decide to move from one jurisdiction to the other if they knew that the permit was only going to be valid for not only be valid, but only be issued for 1 year and no more? Look through the lens of an employer. Does that seem practical?
Yeah, you see, at an administrative level, you want that, although technically, legally, the permits will expire, but you want at least at an administrative level for employers to know that it is, one, likely to be renewed, and two, that if they apply before it expires, they will be allowed to continue to employ that person, until they hear from the authorities. Because that is good also for in terms of business, which is what you're talking about, OC, like predictability within the business environment.
Yeah, and business continuity. Yeah.
Yeah. One little point.
Sure.
We're talking also about. Sorry.
Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah. You were talking about this issue again about entitlement to Caymanian status, and that it should be limited to. Some people think it should be limited to descent, and that marriage also should be allowed. But of course, that has to be carefully monitored. Now, there is also another suggestion, which was made by a candidate who ran in Georgetown West. I think it was in 2017. I know who he is, but I won't mention his name. He made a very good suggestion, and I think I've mentioned this on your show before. He said, look, rather than have these policies, which you just hope will achieve a certain result, and then that result might not be achieved, why don't you have a system where you monitor the birth rate, and then you ensure you do not give more status grants than the birth rate? Like, for example, maintain, say, for example, 1,000 people are born in Cayman every year. Then you say, okay, the following year we won't grant more than 500, okay? Because that ensures that you are not being overtaken by the status grants. And to me, when he asked me about that, I said to him, that is reasonable, because even if it is challenged under the Constitution, you will be able to show, I think, a court that was a rational, proportionate, and reasonable policy to implement. And why that hasn't been taken up, I'm not quite sure, also, because everything they are trying to do now might work, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't have targets that you are working towards, you are not going to achieve, or at least you are not going to be assured that you will achieve what you are trying to do. I should leave it there. Thank you for the time. You've given me so much time.
Thank you very much, Billy. We do have another caller on hold. Do we have another caller on hold, Paul? But we have to take. We took the commercial break already, right? No, we have to take one now. Okay, caller, hang in there. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we will take your call. Please stay tuned.
Hi, this is Juliana O'Connor Conley, the Honourable Premier of the Cayman Islands. I'm inviting you to come out to the March for Jesus, Saturday, 18th of May, 2024. Thank you very much.
Join us for the March for Jesus on the 18th of May 2024, starting at the 7 Mile Public Beach at 3 p.m. Then for our Thank You Jesus Praise and Worship concert starting at 6:30 p.m. on Albert Panton Street. For more information, visit our website at www.christian.ky and then click on the March for Jesus 2024 tab. See you at the March for Jesus.
So much happening, so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my healthcare instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777. This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile.
Tune in on Saturday evening at 8 o'clock for your Yesteryear Musicals Mother's Day edition. Your Yesteryear Musical on Breeze Radio, Saturday evening at 8 o'clock, 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman and 91.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your Yesteryear Musical, a grand selection of music in celebration of Mother's Day, Saturday evening, 8 o'clock on Breeze Radio.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. 2 callers on hold. First caller, good morning. Welcome. Good morning,
Hello.
caller.
Hello.
Good morning. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Jose. Yeah, you asked Billy a question. I don't think he answered it. I'm not sure if he answered it, but I can answer it. You asked him about why would somebody come here knowing that their work permit will only be for a year. You got to realize now some people where they're coming from, 1 year work in Cayman would be equivalent to 10 years working in where they come from, income.
And you as an employer, how would you feel if you needed someone more for a longer period than 1 year, but you could only get 1 year?
No. We're giving them 5. So that's my take. But there's 1,631,000 people I know out there right now waiting to come here. I count them. I know.
Okay.
All right. And so yeah, that depends on where they come from. They might just, as a matter of fact, I know people coming from countries where, because they're over 25 years, they cannot get into the workforce once they pass 25 years old.
Wow.
So that too would be a godsend if they could come in and work for a year. And another thing I wanted to say about the status when we were talking about payments. I know the little work permit person got to pay his work permit up front, not knowing whether it's going to be approved or not, and you don't get back all the money. I think
when you say the work permit person, you're talking about the employer, right? Because the employee shouldn't be paying the work permit fees. Yeah. That's another story for another time.
That's another story. We'll see. Yeah. So what I'm saying now, all right, if the work permit, if the employer has to pay for the little work permit that they're applying for, not knowing whether they're going to get it, why is it then that the permanent resident or the status applicant don't pay up front too? How about that? All right?
Yeah, the only thing is that they don't have to pay. There's nothing to renew. You understand? There's nothing to renew, so it's just an annual fee. I believe now the reason why people took advantage of that and they were delinquent was whether or not the system that was in place at the time could really track and monitor it. But I think they have better systems in place now where that is possible, as well. But one of our listeners wrote and said, why do we always have to give everyone a chance when it comes to our laws? When permanent residence is granted, then the applicant knows that there is an annual fee that is payable, so given a chance should not be applicable. This information should be included as part of the documentation, so there is absolutely no misunderstanding. It should be automatic revocation of PR and no chance to reapply.
Right.
Well,
that's my take.
My view on that is that there are a lot of people in the Cayman Islands who have been granted permanent residency who I don't believe are ready for it, because if they have to struggle to pay that permanent residency fee, I think that in itself, is evidence that they're really not ready for it. But just like how we didn't know what the impact of those 2003 grants were in 2004, 2005, 2006, and whatever years, that we knew that it would have long-term implications, and we're feeling it now. The same way later on we're going to feel about this permanent residency thing when we have more and more people who have to go under dole here in the Cayman Islands because they can't afford.
What is the number now? We'll see with NAU where the numbers are now. The costs.
I'm not sure.
pretty much millions, right?
Yep.
You imagine David Rich told them many years ago in the 80s, be careful. If not, I'm going to turn Cayman into a welfare state.
Yep.
They said David was prejudiced. Now the chickens are coming home to roost.
Yep. Lord Graham, let me grab the next caller who's on hold. Thanks very much. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay, and you?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Well, concerning the situation I spoke to you about before.
Remind me, please.
Yeah, I was speaking to some gentleman a few weeks ago.
Oh, about the paying for the the health benefits?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they said there were 170 of them on the job site.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all paying for all of their health insurance. And their employer was not paying their half like they're supposed to. And these subcontractors are paid enough money, especially so that they're able to pay half of their employees' health insurance. If it's just $85 a month that they're taking out of their employees' pay to pay for their whole health insurance, out of 170 people, that's $177,000 a year. And if their employee has, just say, for example, they have 2 children and a wife on their health insurance also, that means a lot more money coming out of their pay. In 2015, when I finished building watercolors, just before we were finished, my employer called me and said that we have to pay our whole health insurance. And I told him I could not afford it. And I was told by them, if I don't do so, I will spoil it for everybody else. I told him I cannot afford it. And I told him, I said, okay, go ahead and do it. And I kept all my receipts from the deductions that were taken out of my pay to pay for my whole health insurance. And after I finished watercolors, I went straight to the government building and sat down in the office with one gentleman. And he called them and told them to meet him at his office because I was there waiting on them to speak to them. And I showed them every receipt with all the deductions they took out of my pay. And they gave me back every 1 cent that they took out of my pay. And the gentleman by the government building asked them, he hoped it's not going to be a problem with me being employed with them because of doing this. And they said no. That's in 2015. Today, the same thing is still going on. So it seems as nothing is being done about it. It's stealing, it's unlawful, and it's corruption.
So, question: had they paid that money into the for your health insurance? Had they actually paid it in, or they just kept it for themselves?
No, they paid it in.
Oh, they paid it. They did. Okay.
Yeah, but they paid it with my money.
Yes. Yeah. I understand now. Yeah. Well, it would appear to me that what you're talking about there would be something that consultation on the national health strategy needs to look into as well. How how are workers treated in relation to they're paying their share of healthcare insurance?
Well, I overheard one of the gentlemen also saying they're not going to slave me, And these are same individuals who be celebrating Independence Day. These same individuals now be celebrating Independence Day, but they're doing these things to their own people. And this is one of the reasons they don't want to hire Caymanians, Mr. Orrett Connor. Because they know they can't do this to us, but they're doing to their own. And that's why Public Works Department, UCCI, and Michael Miles, what he's trying to do, cannot provide enough workers for the 60% Caymanians that's supposed to be on a job site. This is why concessions were put in place, which they must have given away almost $2 billion worth of concessions by now. This is why concessions were put in place, that right now, after the last 20 to 25 years, Mr. Orrett Connor, we could have had a trade school in every district in the Cayman Islands, training our young people. And the worst thing you can do as a government is to take poor people money and give it to the rich.
So true.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Folks, we're going to take our last commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, this is Juliana O'Connor Conley, the Honourable Premier of the Cayman Islands. I'm inviting you to come out to the March for Jesus, Saturday, 18th of May, 2024. Thank you very much.
Join us for the March for Jesus on the 18th of May 2024, starting at the 7 Mile Public Beach at 3 p.m. Then for our Thank You Jesus Praise and Worship concert starting at 6:30 p.m. on Albert Panton Street. For more information, visit our website at www.christian.ky and then click on the March for Jesus 2024 tab. See you at the March for Jesus.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay Mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. And I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. One of our listeners wrote and said, good program. That caller, the last caller should make it clear who he was employed by. Was it Watercolors or another company that Watercolors employed, meaning a subcontractor or something? Yeah, the caller did mention where he was working at, but he didn't indicate the employer. So some clarity on that would be good so that it doesn't in any way point to the fact that it was the owners of Watercolors that he was dealing with as well. Another of our listeners wrote and said, I think it's very important that candidates running in the next in the general election should have resided in the constituency that they intend to run in for a period of at least 10 years. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Paul, we're going to make that the last caller for the morning. I still have a few WhatsApp messages that I need to share as well. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I am a former immigration officer.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say that I was listening to your discussion about work permits, and I didn't hear anything mentioned about succession planning. I think that, and when I was there, that was something that we stressed very, very much, and I think it should be continued that every permit that is issued, there should be a condition that, you know, they should have somebody understudying so that Caymanians can, you know, can get a job in whatever profession. So that is what I would like to say. And
okay, and I would mention to you that there is something in the laws and the regulations that allow the issuing boards to attach something that is called, it is colloquially called a Regulation 6, which means that for that particular position, the employer must identify a Caymanian who will be trained to eventually take that position. There is a pro forma. They have to sign a form. They have to indicate a training plan that is in place for that individual, the length of time that it is going to take. The employer has to sign it. The employees have to sign it as well, so that it is in place, not for every position, but the boards can use their discretion in attaching that Regulation 6.
Is it being enforced?
It is to a certain extent. I would say that's all I can say for now.
Right. And the other issue that I would like to say something about is the minimum wage. I think that needs to be you know, dealt with as soon as possible, because you know you got people out here working for $6 an hour. You cannot live in Cayman with $6 an hour. So you know the Minister of Labor, you know, should get busy and get this thing taken care of.
I think we're relatively assured on that amendment to the labor law and the minimum wage that will be going to our Parliament soon.
Okay. Well, let's hope they do something about it, because you got a lot of people here working for, you know, they're working in a poverty-stricken community,
Mm-hmm.
and how can we control crime
Mm-hmm.
if people are not making sufficient money to take care of themselves and their families?
So true. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, caller, as well. One of our listeners says, I would like to find out what the government is doing or going to do about the banks putting policies in place to refuse from cashing checks from non-clients when the check is drawn on their bank as well. Can't answer that one. Don't know too much about that, but it is certainly, you know, a valid point as well. What other ones do I have here? No, none. No more WhatsApp messages. Still have 6 minutes, so I can share this with you as well. So we had the Miss Ogaro, Babeth, and Miss Lauren Stanton on the show with us, and we were also discussing this article in the Tradewinds newspaper in 1966, and talking about the study that was done in relation to long life expectancy for Caymanians in spite of the numerous health problems. And there was a part in this that I wanted to share with our audience. It says, it spoke about hypertension and another illness that women in the Cayman Islands were suffering from, and being the Cayman's #1 complaint known to occur most frequently amongst the female population. It says that the reason, they say, quite possibly lies in the fact that for generations a significant proportion of the menfolk have gone to sea to earn their living and are away from their families for months and often years at a time. The wives, though they enjoy the material comforts provided by gainfully employed husbands, are deprived of a normal marriage. They have lost the psychological prop of a man in the house, the unrelieved anxiety of caring and making decisions for their families weigh heavily on the wives left at home. And what's more, children who grow up in this atmosphere of tension in turn perpetuate this tendency to an anxiety state. So while our women were strong and they took care of the household while the men were at sea, 1966, there was a study that showed that they suffered mental health issues, as a result of those long absences and the pressures placed on them. I must say, though, that our women, they did well then. Kudos to them, because many of them, they all were able to raise children that became productive members of our society. And those women, they laid the foundation for what we have here in the Cayman Islands today as well. Folks, I want to continue to encourage you. Please, please, please participate in the consultation on a health strategy for the Cayman Islands. They need your input. You need data. If we don't get it, then we don't know what we will end up with. You need to ensure that you participate in these consultations. Please, I'm begging you, please do so. We have data that is necessary for that. We need it. We need more. We so much data that we need. We still need someone to sit, someone to look at the rate at which we are growing here in the Cayman Islands, the population increase, and is it sustainable? How long can we sustain it? We already see what is happening, with it. With that information, we can then push our legislators to take the corrective action, to take the necessary action if we all get behind something. If we don't, then I'm sorry to say, but we deserve what we get if we don't ourselves attempt to do something about it. Folks, I want to thank all of you this morning who participated. Certainly interesting show, lots of discussion. I also want to encourage you to continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. encourage you to join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. I want you to remember that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I would implore upon you to extend a helping hand to them. And if you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Please stay safe, and God bless.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury.
And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And March for Jesus. 18th of May, visit christian.ky for more information. And Kirk Market. Experience a world